So how to get new buyer and seller clients as a real estate agent on Facebook organically without spending a dime on your ads? The answer lies within a 3-pillar framework we're going to be going over in today's video. Now these pillars, they're attracting, hunting, and social selling. And when you use all of these three, you're going to get a perfect storm that's going to get you new clients. Now, most real estate agents have been using Facebook for a long time, and they've been doing marketing on it usually for quite a bit. So usually agents have a Facebook business page. They're usually posting market statistics, just sold, just listed, links to different articles, or quite often what I see as well is that people are using automated content tools that are posting content on their behalf. Yet the problem is most agents don't get any new clients from Facebook and end up trying another platform like Instagram or TikTok, despite the clear, obvious fact that Facebook has statistically highest number of local sellers and local buyers actively on the platform compared to any other social media platform out there. So it's a platform that is widely misused by real estate agents. And the reason why I think that's the case is because there's so much plain wrong information out there. There's misinformation about how to market as real estate agents on Facebook. And also the information that is being provided is extremely outdated. So agents end up doing things that are very random, that are not proven to work. And these things are not backed by behavioral marketing psychology science. And if you do so, you're not going to get any clients, but if you know how to use this platform correctly, it's an absolute gold mine, and it can easily add you another 10, 20, up to 30 deals per year to your bottom line without spending a dime on your ads and without spending a lot of time on it. It can be a relatively small time investment. So let's dive right in and let's show you the first of these three pillars, which is going to be attracting. So we're talking about what we can do on Facebook to get people to come to us and want to work with us organically. And there's 3 steps to this. The first step is that you need to create your avatar. If you don't know who you're looking for, how could you expect to know how to create marketing, how to create your profile, what to post, what to message? So it really all boils down to who do you want to get as your client? Is it going to be first-time buyers? Is it going to be upsizers? Is it going to be downsizers? Get clear on this. Now, the second step is construct your personal Facebook profile. Now, highlight personal, and you want to make that better than any of your competitors. Because if you look like every other real estate agent on Facebook, you're done. It's not gonna cut it in today's marketplace. So what we need to do is to create the best profile that resonates with the exact people we want to attract, and you want to have a high quality headshot picture of you taking outdoors with proper DSLR camera as the main profile picture. You want to have a local street photo as a cover photo, and then you want to have a great bio. Now, the bio is the first thing that people are going to read when they see you on Facebook. Most real estate agents say something like realtor on their headline, which is again fine, but again, you'll end up looking like everybody else. So if you want to take things to the next level, you want to be the real estate agents that gets a lot of deals from Facebook, your bio should be what your service is, who is it for, and what's the core benefit of your service. So for example, you can have something like Austin Realtor helping professionals upsize to their forever home, and you don't want to be fancy here, you don't need to add tons of slogans or anything like that. People don't understand the slogans anyway, and it does not work. Then your profile, you should add other basic information like where you live, social links to your other social media channels, and of course a link to your website. Now I work with hundreds of real estate agents one-on-one over the last half a decade. So I know right now you may be thinking, well, did he just say my Facebook personal profile? Was that not the business page, right? And I don't want to harass my friends with this real estate stuff. That's what you're probably thinking right now. So here's the thing. Yes, you should have a Facebook business page set up in the exact same way as your personal profile. So all the stuff that I just covered needs to be in place also on the personal profile, but also on the business page. But what you need to realize about Facebook is that Facebook is a business. It's not a charity, it's a profit-driven company. And how do they make money? Well, businesses spend money on ads on Facebook. That's how Facebook makes money. So what does Facebook do when it comes down to business pages? Well, it's going to limit the free organic reach on these business pages on Facebook so that it can incentivize the new businesses to spend money on advertising. So as a real estate agent, when you're doing your organic marketing on Facebook, you're always going to get so much more people just seeing your post in general when you use your personal profile. And not only that, people are going to respond to your marketing a lot better when it comes out from your personal profile because it's going to look authentic. You're going to look like a real person, not a business. And when you get the next step correctly, you won't be bothering your friends or anything like that when you actually do your marketing, because your marketing is no longer going to be spammy like it is with automated content or like it is with, say, just sold, just listed, because people actually are going to want to see more of it, and that's a sign of great marketing. So once your profile is set, the next and the third step is to start posting your content. So tip number one, aim to post at least 3 times per week. Now, I know if I said something like post 5 times a week or 7 times a week, people may very easily get overwhelmed or do it for like a very low quality kind of a way, because they're just making so many posts and then the content itself would not be great. Or oftentimes people could do it maybe for a week and then just fall from it. So I never do it again. So it's better really to post great content. It's better to be consistent and then post less than to set the bar like too high and then not reach the bar at all, because the content you put out is the most important thing on Facebook. So if right now you're using automated content or articles or sharing memes or quotes or cat videos, something like that, stop doing that. That's not gonna give you listings anyway, so there's no point in doing that. And the main principle right now with any content you do on Facebook is that it should be value driven instead of sales driven. And that's the main difference between real estate agents that are successful on any social media platform, but particularly on Facebook, that's also the key. So instead of thinking, okay, how can I sell my service? How can I get listings right now today? You should be thinking, how can I create conversations? How can I create insight? How can I get other people's lives to be better as a result of them consuming my content? How can I connect with the people in my marketplace? How can I build these relationships? Because as you know, real estate business, real estate industry, it's a relationship-based business. The more people know you, the more business you're gonna get. That's simply the fact. But when it comes down to social media, for some reason, just people throw it out of the window, and now they're putting out just sold, just listed on all these articles and everything else. So some reason people just forget about these things, and then they just start doing something completely different when it comes down to Facebook. So what do you post and where do you post it? Well, let's start off from where do you post your content. There's 2 places you want to post your content on Facebook, and you want to post the content and different content in each of these different places. Now, the number one is obviously your own profile. So both your personal profile and then also, of course, your Facebook business page. And then number 2, which may come as a surprise to you, is going to be Facebook groups. So let's cover what to post on each of these 2 places. First, let's talk about the 3 content types you want to post on your own profiles on Facebook. So the first content type is real estate insights. As you're staying up to date with the real estate industry and your local market, you're reading the news, you're reading the articles yourself, you're reading the National Association of Realtor updates, obviously Inman News, you're looking at the market, the trends you see on Zillow, MLS, so on and so forth. You have that strong pulse on the marketplace. You have that strong pulse on the real estate industry and the local market, and that's extremely valuable. So obviously the local market changes all the time. There's new shifts, new trends, new updates, and the future housing market that's going to be there in your local market is always changing around. So what you want to do as a real estate agent is to provide that own personal thought, provide those own personal perspectives, provide those personal opinions on these things that are going on. They're related back to what these homeowners may be thinking right now and what it actually means for them in the future. A big mistake I see from real estate agents is that they just throw these stats out there. It's like, this is the number, here's a link to this article, just go out there and read it yourself. For the average people looking at it, it does not mean anything. They're not gonna understand it. They don't comprehend what it means, what all these numbers are. They're basically the same thing as if I started talking about Facebook CPC costs or something like that. Most of you would not understand that at all. So make the information easy to digest and make it relevant to the locals, and you're gonna be able to provide so much more value. Now, in addition to this, any concerns you see people may have about real estate, or maybe common questions about the market trends, you want to be addressing those as well. Empathize with these concerns, empathize with these fears, empathize with these desires, and alleviate these concerns, answer the common questions your homeowners, your home buyers will have. By the way, if you want to have notes on these 3 content types for your own personal profiles and these 3 content types for your Facebook groups, all you need to do is just comment under this YouTube video, comment notes, and we're gonna send that over for you for free, no strings attached. So the second content type is going to be personal stories. Again, remember, real estate is a relationships-based business, and personal stories of your personal experiences is what somebody else is going to be able to relate and connect with. And it's your personal story that includes the ups and downs, includes those little mistakes that really creates that relatability factor and trust in your marketing. So think back to your life, think back to the clients you have worked with, and identify moments in that life where you would like to share with other people. Maybe some things where you learned a lesson, maybe there's a message that you'd like to share, maybe there's experiences you went through that taught you important value or system or belief. Or maybe there was a pivotal moment in your life that you went through that really shaped you to become who you are today. Or what was the weirdest real estate transaction you've gone through, right? Aim to be vulnerable, aim to be honest, aim to be raw, authentic, emotional in these stories. Being real is better than being perfect. Now, this may be very intimidating at the beginning, especially if you are considering yourself to be a private person. So here's a quick tip on doing this very well, very easily at the beginning. When you are writing this, trick your mind into thinking that you're writing a story into your personal journal as a way of reflecting back at your life and then storing the key lessons you have learned in your past and telling yourself you're definitely not going to share it. So the thing is, you're gonna tell yourself, I'm not gonna post this anywhere, I'm just posting a post for my personal purposes. Now, once this is written, publish it, and when writing these types of posts is extremely powerful because it's gonna spark up a psychological phenomenon called parasocial relationships, which means that people are gonna start to feel like they know you, feel like they trust you, feel like you're kind of like a person in their world. Now, the third content type is gonna be client success stories. This is the most powerful content type you can create, but if right now you're posting just sold, just listed, you're done. You're not getting any benefits out of that. Because if you do that, you're gonna miss out on all of that leverage you just created by working with that client, but just making a post that nobody really even sees. So after a successful transaction, get a picture of you and a client. Write up an actual story. Where you guys met, how did you guys work together, what were the challenges, what was the end result, how did the client feel after the end result, and then what were the concerns, what were the doubts they had at the start. Explain what you guys did together, explain what you guys did to get to that outcome, and explain how you guys felt at the end of that transaction. So here's the thing, when you post just sold, just listed, you're not gonna get any out of these things that I just talked about. You're just gonna get like a picture and a house and then that's it. So when you post your client successes this way, people are going to be able to tap into that social proof bias. Of course, they're going to see that you work with this client. But in addition to that, you're creating that parasocial relationship we just covered, and you're creating that point of relatability with yourself and the client, so the client actually remember you. Now, think about this. If you think about the stories you remember personally, there's all these things that come to mind. Think about the post you already just see, just sold, just listed from another real estate agent, right? How many of those posts do you remember? You probably don't remember any, right? So here's the thing, these stories are also very memorable and people store it to their minds, so you're gonna come up in their minds a lot quicker as well when it comes time to buy or sell a house. Now, when you're creating these three content types, what works best is to pair up the text you just wrote with a candid picture of yourself. And then if somebody else is related to the story, add them there as well. And if the picture of you is somehow linked to the story, that's always really, really good. If it's not, that's still fine as well, but the more linked it is, the better. Now, if you have more time, play around with the videos is definitely a good idea. It's definitely beneficial as well because it helps people to get to know you better. If you're just getting started with social media, focus on just text and picture because you're able to step-by-step get yourself into videos as well. Video can be pretty intimidating at the beginning, but once you get used to these types of posts, also video, and these same exact strategies that I just covered can be also then applied to the video content as well. So these are the three content types you can leverage on your Facebook personal page and then also your Facebook business page. And these content types generate massive responses, massive engagement. So go out there and make one of these posts, you'll see the results right away in the amount of views you get, amount of likes you get, amount of comments you get. But most importantly, they actually influence people to want to work with you. Going back to the point we talked about earlier, just sold, just listed, it has like this much impact into actually influencing people to work with you, making a decision from another person into actually hiring you. But when you make these types of posts, there's a psychological biases or psychological subconscious processes that you're influencing. And this goes back to the first point that we covered with you, which was the behavioral marketing science. So the things that are going on in a person's mind, they're going to start to change around and get people to work with you as opposed to maybe the friend they know or a cousin they know who was a real estate agent as well. So these posts also influence that process and get people to select you more often than anyone else. Next, let's talk about the second place you want to post your content to, which is going to be Facebook groups. Now, thousands of people are right now inside of these local Facebook groups. They're an absolute gold mines. And the thing is, you have the ability to get into these groups for free right now today and bring them to your world. This is free visibility right now. It's worth thousands and thousands of dollars in advertising spent. But what's the key is to realize that you can just go into these groups and just start spamming, just sold, just listed, or even the post that I just told you about. We can't go out there and start posting these things, right? Because they're meant for your own profiles. Well, you may be thinking like, why can't I just post these things to these groups, right? Well, think of the context. If you post a personal story in a local Facebook group, what you're doing is you're kind of going into a local town hall event and jumping on stage, grabbing the mic and just telling this random story, right? So we can't do that on these local Facebook groups. You'd seem like a crazy person, essentially. So what we need to be aware of is the context of these groups and make sure that the posts, they're aligned with the context of the group and the theme of the group itself. And obviously making sure we're adding value to the conversation happening in that town hall, happening in that group. So what you do is you go to Facebook search, you search for your local area name, and then you look up all these local Facebook groups that are available and find the ones that have a lot of active users on it and real community vibe. Stay away from groups that are just like fully business promotions or spammers or something like that, or just for selling or buying things as well. So you're looking at big local Facebook groups where there's a lot of local people discussing things that are related to the local area, to the local city or the local living area. Then there's also 3 content types you can post to these groups that works extremely well. So the first content type is going to be local city news. There's a psychological bias, obviously every single one of us has, which is called the proximity bias, which means that the more closer things that are to us, the more we're going to care about them. People care about their local city, people care about their neighborhood, but they probably don't care about the things happening on the other side of the world. So any new updates, like news updates, new developments, new events, new hottest news, right? Whatever the case may be, talk about these things, provide your thoughts, provide your opinions on that. How you feel about it, how you think it impacts the locals, what it might do to the city, what it might do for the real estate market, what it might do for the buyers, what it might do for the sellers, how that might affect them. Now these posts are fine to post with just text alone, or if there's a relevant picture, also you can add that there in as well. Now, second content type is going to be one-sentence questions. So posting one-sentence questions can get you a lot of reach, a lot of engagements right from the get-go with very, very minimal effort. So posting questions like, as an example, what do you think is the most overrated neighborhood in Austin? Or as an example, help me convince a friend what makes Austin the best city in the world to live in. Or you could say something like, do you guys feel like the homes are overpriced in downtown Austin? Then next we're going to have third content type, which can be community-based content. Any and all local events or local community events you go to, take casual pictures of yourself at the event or even with other people, just capture the atmosphere of those events. Then in your post, write about what you learned in those experiences, about the connections you guys made, or about the overall vibe of that event. So these are the 3 content types you can now leverage on Facebook. You join the groups and you start posting this content and you're getting thousands of local strangers just seeing you on a consistent basis, building up your brand and getting them into your profiles. Now, to help you avoid content mistakes almost every agent tends to make, here's 6 quick viral content tips every realtor should apply. Number 1, write the text yourself. Don't copy paste things or have somebody else write it for you. Because if your own voice is not coming through in your post, if it feels automated, you're harming your credibility. Number 2, add a line break after every sentence to make your post easy to read. Number 3, don't post links, don't post articles or really any websites, or the algorithm is going to punish you and limit your reach. Number 4, don't edit your pictures with logos or text overlays on top of it. Just use plain images you've taken yourself with your phone. Number 5, don't add your contact information at the bottom of your post. And number 6, don't ask people to reach out to you on every post that you make. So that wraps up the pillar number 1 of the 3 pillars of this strategy. And again, by the way, if you want to have notes on all of these 3 content types to your own profiles, and then all of these 3 content types for your Facebook groups, the local Facebook groups, just comment notes below and we're going to send you a link to access this 100% for free. Now, the second pillar is what I call hunting. So in addition to posting content on Facebook to draw people in, we take proactive proactive measures on this platform to also build our audience and get seen by more local people. And there's 2 steps to this. So step number 1 is to send friend requests to your ideal clients. Now, as you post this content on these Facebook groups, you're gonna start having people leaving likes, leaving comments, leaving different insights, leaving different thoughts. And then what you're gonna start to notice is that a lot of these clients start to look like a little bit like that ideal client you have just mapped out in the first step that we just covered. And you start to notice, okay, these people are starting to group up, and then some of them are actually gonna send a friend request to you yourself, but then you also wanna send a friend request to them themselves. Let's say you guys have a conversation and really connect together there. So the key thing about this strategy is that you don't just go into these Facebook groups and just start adding random people, but that these people actually come to your content, so that this way you guys actually have like a relationship beforehand, and you're not just like a random person just adding them as a friend. Now, step number 2 is network hacking. Now, this is one of my favorite little tricks for the people to use, because it's literally just being smart about who you interact with and the eyeballs that you can get in front of. So network hacking essentially enables you to get in front of tens of thousands of people, even if you have very few Facebook friends on your own. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it. There's 3 steps to this. So the first step is you wanna find local people that have a lot of local friends on Facebook. Now, you may have come across them naturally or on your feed or your friend list, or you can proactively search for them. So for example, the creators of these most popular local groups actually could be one of these people. Or if you search, for example, for common names or set the location in your city and go through different profiles that show up in these search results, you'll be able to start to find these local people if you don't yet know who they are. So you're looking for people from your local area that are still living in your local area, and people who talk about interesting stuff on their Facebook profile. Then once you start finding these people, create a Facebook friend list. I call it something like local Facebook influencers. Then send these people a friend request and add a private message saying something like, hey John, I've been seeing your posts and I thought to send you a friend request because I'd love to make sure I keep seeing your content. And you can go ahead and add something like an emoji or add something like lol to make it more casual. And now that we have these people, you have that custom Facebook list you just created earlier, just go ahead and add them to that list. And this way, every day you can check if there's a new post they created. You can now leave a comment or engagement on their posts. So as you start to see these different posts from these local influencers, you want to go ahead and leave comments on these posts that acknowledges, compliments, reflects, and asks. So what do I mean by this? Well, when I say acknowledge, you want to start off your comment by acknowledging something that you liked about the post itself and why you liked it. So if I saw a post and I was like, okay, I love the part where you said, and then add whatever they said in the post. So that's me acknowledging their post and complimenting on them. So people love to be complimented, and of course it's a nice way to start off your comment. Then after you have left a compliment, right, you want to write your second part of the comment, which is reflecting on the topic in hand. So you could continue and say something like, I have found that, and then add your own personal experience, and then lastly add a question about something related to the post or respond back to the further conversation along. So you're saying, I love your posts, love what you said when you said this, I've seen this, what do you think about this? And so you're basically leaving a comment that compliments them, engage them, and then asks them a question. So you're engaging them back. And what you're going to do with this person is, who posted this post replies to your comment, it's actually going to push your comment to the top of the comment list. So when there's different comments under the post, your comment will be the first one that pops up. So when you do this, you'll get in front of thousands and thousands of local people for free. Because remember, we're commenting on local influencers' posts, so these posts are getting seen by thousands and thousands of people. And again, this is all free. We're not spending any single dollar on any of these things. We're getting free visibility, free branding, and also in a very, very positive light. Now, the second step to network hacking is to make another custom Facebook friends list where you add in your quote-unquote hot leads. So this is your sphere, past clients, people from your pipeline, people you have good interactions with, and you can also add, let's say, prospecting on FISBOs or expireds. You can all these people add to this same list. So add them as a friend and then add them to this list. By the way, if you haven't added all of the people from your database as your Facebook friends, you're missing out on a lot of deals, a lot of referrals, a lot of opportunities. So you should pause the video probably if you haven't, and then go and do it right now. So name that list, for example, hot contacts, and then do the same process with this list as well. A few times a week, pull up the list and open up the profiles of these people. And again, go do the same thing we just covered. Engage with their content, like their posts, leave these value-adding comments on their posts. The third and the last step of network hacking is to go to the Facebook groups you're a part of and then comment on as many posts as possible that other people have left in the group. So that wraps up the hunting pillar. The first two pillars, attracting and hunting alone, can generate you a lot of clients as it is. But when you combine with the last pillar, results will absolutely skyrocket. So the last pillar of this organic Facebook framework for real estate agents is what I call social selling. So far, we've been building our audience with a plethora of different tactics, and you may be wondering, well, how do I effectively turn all of this into listings, all of this into business? And the answer lies in social selling. That means that anytime someone comments on your posts, anytime someone replies back to the comments you left anywhere, anytime somebody becomes a new friend with you on Facebook, you want to start social selling in private messages. Now, I do want to emphasize that this is called social selling, not selling. So we're not going in there and starting to message people and saying to everybody, hey, if you need a real estate agent, just give me a call, give me referrals, right? They've seen your profile, they know that you're a real estate agent already. Your goal with these messages is to build actual relationships, befriend these people, and then treat them like your friends right from the get-go, because then they're going to treat you back in the same way. So have an actual conversation and seek to connect with them. Show them interest in what they're doing without asking for anything. Then after you have these people in your network for a while, you chatted with them briefly, you can start to shift the conversation towards real estate. So for example, you may send a message saying something like, hey, can I pick your brain for a second for a project I'm working on? And when they say yes, you can say something that directs the conversation towards real estate. You could say something like, so I'm selling this property in this XYZ neighborhood. I'm thinking whether to make a virtual 3D tour for the home or a walkthrough video. So let's suppose you were in the market. Would you prefer to see a 3D tour or a walkthrough video? And then they reply, and if they happen to be in the market, then they would likely bring that up. And if they're not, which will be in the most cases, you could ask them, by the way, do you happen to know anyone who's looking for making a move? Our team is doing free home analysis reports for homeowners this week because the home prices have shifted recently. Another way to spark up these private messages is to go look at their profile, send them hello, and then reference something personal to them. Just take a look at their Facebook profile quickly and talk about the recent thing you see on their profile and then reference that. Say if they're posting a picture from a local restaurant, as example, they're eating at John's Barbecue, you could say something like, hey, I noticed you were at the John's Barbecue, how is the food there? And then they reply, for example, it was awesome, it was great, definitely worth to visit. You go back to the framework we talked about earlier, the ACA framework, acknowledge, compliment, and ask, and just reply back again. So acknowledge, oh, that sounds good, I've got to bring my kids there sometimes as well. Compliment, I'll count on your taste, and ask, by the way, do you know anyone who's wanting to make a move in the near future? The New Jersey market has shifted recently, so I'm doing free consultations to get folks clear what their options are. So that gives you some context for what to go for, obviously, in conversations, and actually get to know people, and then naturally shift the conversations towards real estate, asking them if they know somebody looking to make a move, so get a referral, or again, they'll tell you themselves if they're looking to make a move themselves. So those are the 3 steps to this framework, and at this stage, you may be feeling like that's like a lot. This is a lot of things to do. I have to do a lot of it. And then how am I going to do all of this? But in reality, when you do this a little bit, this is actually pretty simple and pretty fast to do. And the best part is you're not spending any money. This is all 100% free. So the way you want to do this is all you want to do is block out 1 to 2 hours per week to create your content for your personal Facebook profile and then also Facebook groups. Then after that, you want to spend 20 minutes each day consistently doing these activities. So 1 minute to post your new content pieces, obviously to your profiles and the groups. 10 minutes to implement the 3 steps of the network hacking and commenting on the local influencers' posts, also your hot list posts, and the posts in the local Facebook groups. Then 9 minutes sparking up new private conversations from the comment replies you're getting and from your hot list, custom friend list. So it's going to take you less than 3 episodes of your favorite Netflix TV show, and it has the potential to make you hundreds of thousands of dollars per year without spending any money on making that income. So hopefully this video was useful. If you did like the video, if you want to see more videos like this, click the like button. It's going to boost up the algorithm. And once you learn this, it's actually very simple, and it's a game of getting really, really good at creating your posts, giving comments, giving the right vibes to the people, messaging people the right way. So this Facebook strategy alone has the power and potential to potentially double or triple your business. And once you get really, really busy, that's when you should start considering replacing parts of these manual time-consuming activities with automated paid advertising, which is exactly what we cover in the next video right here.